Hi, everybody. Let's get started. I am super excited about our event today. And first of all, my name is Sarah Oswald. I am TIGAR Global Committee Chair for this year. And to start off, I would like to thank Janessa Mercer, who is our TIGAR liaison for Global Committee. She is the talent and the face behind all our events. She's the one who makes sure that we run this event smoothly. So thank you, Janessa. Then I would like to thank Tony Capitelli, who is TIGAR CEO, and Adriana Nago, who is TIGAR president for this year. These two are the ones who set the road path for us to start a global committee this year. So thank you both. Then I would like to thank Robert Watson. He is our CIPS from Irvine for his recommendation of Dounia, and also some of the NAR ambassadors who have been leading us and guiding us as we grow our committee. And most importantly, I would like to thank each and every one of you who are here in attendance. The fact that you're here so early shows us that you are appreciating what we're putting out as our event. With that said, Janessa, if you could play our video, please.
40 years ago, most of this was desert. Now there's a glittering metropolis, the fastest growing desert city on the planet, Dubai.
When I first came here, none of this existed. It was one huge big desert.
Building a city like this in one of the hottest, most inhospitable places on Earth seems impossible. So how did engineers do it? The ancient water kick-started Dubai's explosive growth, but it's no longer enough to quench the thirst of this expanding metropolis. Today, the city relies on huge desalination plants that turn seawater into fresh water. But pumping the water around the city and into skyscrapers like the Burj Khalifa is a formidable challenge. Engineer John Zwetz has overseen the installation of water networks into many of the city's towers.
If we're able to just look at the water distribution infrastructure, one would see a myriad, almost like a spaghetti bowl of pipes. Water is distributed to every corner, at every floor, at every level.
Using a single giant pump to pipe water right to the top of a building as tall as the Burj Khalifa would be dangerous. Forcing water this high up takes extreme pressure, which could make the pipes explode. So engineers pump the water up in stages. First, to a huge reservoir on the 40th floor. Then, to a series of 800,000-liter tanks. until it reaches the top of the building. Then the water simply flows back down under its own weight. Three-quarters of a million liters a day pass through the Burj Khalifa, enough to keep its inhabitants happy. Engineers use this clever technology all over the city. Dubai is the fastest growing desert city on Earth. But to attract the super rich and sustain its growth, it needs to offer beachfront real estate, which is in limited supply. So engineers came up with this, the Palm Jumeirah, a man-made island shaped like a giant palm tree. It's a monumental feat of engineering. Pulling the plug on the ocean reveals its true scale. The size of 800 soccer fields. It sits inside a barrier made from 7 million tons of rock. 94 million tons of sand create space for over 5,000 homes. A luxury island resort built right into the ocean. Akil Qasim has witnessed the island's rise from the deep.
This obviously came out of a certain need, and at that point Dubai did have a very short shoreline that left very little space for luxury beachfront properties. It added 70 kilometers to our existing shoreline. This works very well because it's got a very large circumference. The island not only looks beautiful from above, it also, because of its shape of the fronts, each front has 2 rows of houses. So there's one row going that way and then the other way coming back.
With artificial islands like this, Dubai has overcome a geological disadvantage. And this is the type of machine they use to build them. The cutter suction dredger Khalij Bay. It vacuums around 70,000 tons of sand and rock off the seafloor every week. Its secret weapon, this lethal cutter head.
On the cutter head, there are cutter teeth mounted. These are the hammers that break the material. We are dredging rock, we are dredging sandy material. In this cutter head, at the inside, there's a big suction mouth, and it sucks up all material that has been loosened by the head itself. Better not fall in.
Building an island from scratch takes a whole fleet of dredgers. They must harvest more than 150 million tons of sand. A satellite feeds the exact shape of the island to the ship's navigation systems. Pipes shoot the sand back into the sea until the rough shape of the island rises above the surface. Finally, boats with huge suction pumps smooth out the edges. Then, the island is ready for people to move in. But to buy here, you need cash, lots of it. The best plots sell for up to $50 million.
What makes this unique is that it's got a 275-degree view of the sea. And this person has obviously paid a premium for this location. A plot like this would typically go for about 170 million dirhams. You would obviously be someone to whom money is no object.
Building into the sea is the way to go in Dubai, and the coastline has changed dramatically. Construction crews have used more than 600 million tons of sand to create more than 900 city blocks of land in the sea. That's enough sand to bury an area the size of New York's Central Park more than a meter deep. The islands have created space for up to 3 million people, and there are plans to build even more. Together, they'll make the city's shoreline 7 times longer than it was.
Battery, pause, connected to you.
Isn't that amazing? It blows my mind what you guys are doing in Dubai. Seriously. But that's just a short snaps of what you guys gonna hear later on about Dubai. So with that said, I would like to start, but first of all, stating our mission statement as the Global Committee, which is basically to provide its members with global market updates through education and networking, as well as building partnership with global-minded real estate agents and to learn about different cultures and their respective business practices. The Inland Gateway Association of Realtors Global Committee's goal is to network and connect with fellow CIPS, Certified International Property Specialists, and FIAPC, the International Real Estate Federation agents across the globe. Our goal is to help fellow local agents develop and grow their international business, network, and be able to refer and receive leads from across the world. By understanding and comprehending other countries' traditions, backgrounds, and culture, we're all able to embrace our differences. Cultural sensitivity and awareness will allow us more interaction with different groups around the world. We will build respect, empathy, be able to celebrate similarities and understand our differences. From this, we'll be able to open up the whole world to new experiences. When we acknowledge that people are different, have different beliefs, not only are we able to be in agreement that we have differences, however, once we focus our similar goals in life, which is to have a happy family, a prosperous business, and a healthy life, and have the freedom to practice and worship, we're able to see that we actually are more similar than we are different. So with that said, I now would like to start our presentation and turn over the event to Neela, who is our task force for this month global event. Neela is actually Women's Council Inland Valley President for this year. She's also received the 2019 Realtor Award of Excellence. She was also the Housing Opportunity Committee Chair for 2018 and 19 for North San Diego CAR. And recently, I'm glad to say she joined TIGAR Association just so she could be part of a global committee. With that said, my dear friend, Neela Esposito, take it away.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And thank you, everybody. Good morning, dear guests, friends, and members. We are very grateful that Dr. Mahmoud AlBurai, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, I'm trying my hardest, is here with us today during Ramadan, which is a very holy month of prayer and fasting. Dr. Mahmoud AlBurai holds several international positions in the field of sustainability and cities planning. He is a global advisor to UN Cities program since 2014, Vice President of International Real Estate Federation, and sits on advisory committees of affordable housing at World Economic Forums. Previously, Dr. AlBurai served as chairman of the United Nations Global Compact United Arab Emirates. He has many sustainable development goals and driven initiatives, which include youth ambassadors programs, women empowerment principles platform, and sustainable development goal pioneers. Recently, he established a think tank in Geneva under the name of Middle East Sustainable Development Institute to lobby stakeholders to action on sustainable development goals in the Middle East. He serves as a senior advisor to Real Estate Regulatory Agency of Dubai since 2018. He also completed his degree in electrical engineering from Dubai, master's in real estate from Singapore, MBA of Finance, Master of Cities from London, and a DBA from France. And that's just a sample of a long list of credentials. So now we are going to turn it over to Dr. Mahmoud AlBurai, who will start the presentation with prayer. Dr. AlBurai.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is how we greet people in our country. Thank you so much for having me today. And I'm very glad and very pleased to be with my friends from NAR, FIABC, and different international organization, and to be also with Dounia, who is a great friend, and I consider her a best ambassador of Dubai real estate market. So the video actually gave us a lot of insights about Dubai. So let me try to skip over some slides that I wanted to show you before. So Dubai real estate market are some pictures taken from Dubai. This is a city that used to be a desert. This is how it used to look like. It used to be a fishing village with little resources, but with a great leadership that thought from day one that if we want to turn out this city to a great global city, we need to rethink out of the box, especially in an Arab region where you don't have so much of freedom to do innovation. So this is how Dubai used to look like, and you've seen it in the video. And people mistakenly think that Dubai has a lot of oil. Let me tell you and correct you. Oil now almost 0% of our economy. So we're not an oil city as Dubai. So we are a city that is based on services, on financial services, on tourism, on trade, on logistics, real estate, and so on. So this is the leadership that I talked about. The Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the current leader of Dubai, is a person who firmly believes in what's good for business is good for Dubai, and that's why we make all it takes to make this city friendly for businesses. So these pictures are taken from NASA in 1973, and if you can see, you barely see any construction and development in 1973. And this is how it used to look like. These are pictures taken from Dubai a long time ago. In 1990s, we started to see construction. We started to see boom in Dubai. We started to see the red zones and red dots throughout the city. In 2002, you start to see the palm started to take shape. You start to see projects all over Dubai. 2010, you see the palm, you see the world map, you see different projects. And I'm sure Dounia today will give you the business side. I'm going to focus on the government side and why Dubai and what makes it special. We have 217 nationalities of investors. So a lot of investors came and invested in Dubai since we opened the freehold market in 2001. Before 2001, the market used to be a leasehold, or used to be on only for UAE national and people from the Gulf region. And this is Dubai Airport. I'm not sure if you came to Dubai before, but this is how Dubai looked like. In your left, this is the Dubai International Airport in 1965. The guy with the shirt, with the white t-shirt, used to come to the airport, open it at 7 a.m., close it at 2 p.m. But today, this is the airport we have, one of the largest, with Emirates Airlines reaching 200 destinations. So this is the kind of infrastructure we have. We have an infrastructure that welcomes people. We have a city that is a multi-diverse. It's a tolerant city. It's 217 nationalities. It's a place that was made from nowhere. So this used to be a desert. This used to be a deserted place. And within a few years, I was studying at the American University in Dubai, and this was my view at that time. But it wasn't this way. Actually, it was completely a different one. Within a few years, we were witnessing skyscrapers coming up in Dubai. We started to witness 500 to 700 real estate developers coming to the city and develop. with all the positivity, you always have some negativity, right? Because we, at that time, attracted speculators, people with short-term vision, and so on. But the city now is more resilient. It's more structured than any time before. We built the largest and the tallest tower, 828 meters long with 164 floors. The Palm, which is the largest man-made island that the video talked about. Burj Al Arab, 7 stars hotel, with so much focus on luxury and equality and equality. This is the outside of Dubai Mall. So all these are pictures taken from different communities in Dubai. The largest mall in the Middle East, Dubai Mall. We also embrace sustainability. So we have different projects that focus on sustainability. One of them is the Sustainable City of Dubai that focus on economic and social environmental sustainability. And people living in such communities are paying about 30% less in terms of utilities and cost, because there was a question on the affordability that I will come now to. We recently launched Dubai Plan 2040, and this is an invitation, and I invite all of you to come and have Dubai as a hub for your office, for your business. As we build the city, this is our plan for 2040. We want Dubai, 60% of Dubai to be greenery, natural reserve. We want to build 2 more economic centers, which adds up to 5 economic centers. We want to increase our population by 76% by 2040. We want people to live not more than 500 to 800 meters far from public transport. So it's a complete shift. It's a city or a desert in the Arabian Gulf, focusing on sustainability, building a quality of life. And the slogan of our master plan is, we want to be the best city on earth for living. So, and this is a dream to be made by people who've chosen Dubai to be home. We focus a lot also on transport. So we built our metro in 2009. Before that, we did not have a metro. We also started to invest in driverless vehicles and sustainable and hybrid vehicles. We have a plan that focuses on happiness. We want people to be living happily in Dubai. We want to have an exclusive society. We want to have the best place for people to live, work, and visit. So this is all part of a government strategy. So whatever we do in Dubai is driven by this plan, and by 2040 plan. We want to be a smart city as well. And this is the leader of Dubai. He always overemphasizes on happiness. So each government department has KPIs. We want customer happiness to be above 90%. We don't call it satisfaction, because His Highness says we're done with satisfaction. We are in an era of happiness. And this is something not easy to be accomplished, but it's a mission, and it's in progress. When it comes to cost, we don't have income tax. Okay, so please don't worry about tax. We don't have property tax. We only have something called transfer fees, which is 4%. If you sell a property, then there's a 4% transfer fees. Usually the buyer takes on that cost. The normal or the average market commission for brokers is 2%. It can go to 5 and 10% in separate cases. So this is regarding the question, and I'm sure Dounia will elaborate more on the business side. So as I said, the ruler of Dubai said, what's good for business is good for Dubai. So this is how the city transformed, because we believed in the importance of supporting businesses to be successful. People usually ask, is it the right time to invest in Dubai? And in terms of affordability, let me tell you, we are one of the most affordable cities. People think that we are not affordable city. I have numbers that shows, no, we are an affordable city. We are not on the top of, if you see Monaco, Hong Kong, New York, and Dubai is all the way down. This is an index done by UBS. It's called the Bubble Index. Dubai is undervalued, and it's way undervalued. If you see Dubai, it's minus 0.26. So the values and the prices that you see in the market are not reflecting the quality of Dubai, the infrastructure, the different aspects of the city. If you look at the utilities and the cost, and I'll take just one item, electricity, water, and different services, it costs you about $150 per month. We have also cheap kind of petrol compared to the rest of the world, which is about $0.50 per liter. And as Corona and COVID coming to Dubai, we introduced a lot of stimulus cuts on cost to make cities living and business doing cheaper. So this is also some measures have been taken by the government in COVID, cut on licensing costs, making things easier, giving people time to settle payments and stuff. So we are also supporting affordability. I've looked also at certain numbers, how we compare to London and New York. I don't want to go into details, but London is 35% higher than us when we talk about the consumer prices. And it can add to almost 40% higher than Dubai if you add the rent. So we are 40% cheaper than London. We are almost 40% to 25% cheaper than Paris. We are 53 to 70% cheaper than in New York. So in terms of affordability, when it comes to consumer goods and rental, we are 40-50% lower than London, New York, and Paris, and different international leading cities. And this is how we actually rank when it comes to affordability. So we are number 11 when it comes to the cost of living. So the country at the top are the most expensive. So this is one of the indexes on affordability. So we're an affordable city for living, affordable city for business, affordable city for different aspects of life. At the same time, we are the most transparent real estate market in the region. So we will have a lot access to data, information, how's the market doing, title deed information, and so on. So it's a transparent market. When it comes to ease of doing business, according to the World Bank, we are one of the top easiest country to do real estate transaction. So you don't need a lawyer, you don't need a conveyancer. Most of the transaction can be done purely with a broker in the middle. And that's why we are on the top 10 of, it can take you almost 15 minutes to finish a real estate transaction here in Dubai. So it's an easy process, protected at the same time, guaranteed by the government of Dubai. There's several aspects about the registration. We are the regulatory agency of Dubai. We are the licensing authority. So for real estate agents, they have to come to our entity and get the different, we have two different licenses, license for an office. We have a broker card for the individuals working in that office. So in Dubai, you cannot work as an individual without an office. You need to be part of an office. So we don't tolerate freelancing in Dubai. So we care about licensing, and we want to make sure that everyone is legally functioning in the city. Not every part of Dubai is open for foreign ownership, but quite 40 areas in Dubai are a freehold. 30 to 40% of Dubai areas are freehold. So people can buy and can have a title deed, can give it to their inheriting people, and so on. So it's a free market, and you can have the choices in different communities in Dubai. So the one in orange are places where people can own a freehold, and also some other parts, that second brown here, which is still under construction. We have also a strategy for smart city, which started 2013. And when even Corona was there and COVID started, we used to have a real estate transaction. So a person sitting in London, selling a property in Dubai to an investor in Azerbaijan, and the city is locked down, but the transaction was done because we invested in infrastructure. Until now, we can make a transaction without people coming and being in person. We have also a very active holiday homes and short-term market. So this is an opportunity I see. As you know, we're hosting Expo 2020. I'll talk about it soon. So holiday homes is expected to boom, especially in different strategic prime location. We also, and sorry, I'm saying things fast because I want to give you a lot of information before I give the floor to my dear friend Dounia to give you the business side of it. Dubai, we recently started also looking at the supply, controlling the supply in the city to make sure that the prices are under control. This is the Expo, and we would love to welcome you to Dubai in October 2021. This is our Expo version. It's happening. We are 100 doses out of 400 people vaccinated, so we're almost 50-60% of population in Dubai are vaccinated, and the plan is to get everyone vaccinated before Expo. So we are a healthy place for people to come and enjoy the different aspects of the city. We did not close our economy since a year now. The health issue is under control. The economy is functioning. A lot of people and businesses and companies are moving their business to Dubai. So we see now an increase in prices and demand. We see different new locations in Dubai booming. If you look at previous expos in different cities, usually expo is combined by increase in prices. So I don't want to give you details of different expos, but we're expecting that this expo will lead to an increase in the real estate prices. This is the motto and slogan of the expo: connecting mind, creating future. So this is an invitation for minds to come and visit and see the city. If you want to have information on the Dubai real estate market, you have Property Finder, you have Bayut, two different platforms. This is the prices now as per the portals, about 1,200 dirhams per square foot. This is what the prices are selling now, which is almost the prices of 2009. So it's 11 years, 12 years low opportunity. So the time for people to buy at good prices. We're expecting a buying boom post-COVID. And just to make sure that I cover the most important thing, recently we started the golden visa, and this is an important thing for real estate people. If you buy a property in Dubai worth 1 million dirham, you get a 3 years residency. If you buy a 2 million property, and you are above 55 years old as a retirement, you can get 5 years retirement residency. And people actually can apply for 10 years as well. Not only that, but also I was always questioned by Dounia, can we have citizenship program in the UAE? Yes, now we have announced a law that gives people also the opportunity to get the UAE nationality, which is actually a big change that not a lot of people expected. So just to finish with a few slides, in Dubai, we look at the city in different aspects, economic, but also social. We want people to live, to enjoy. We have a lot of success stories. We have 52,000 millionaires who've chosen Dubai to be their homes. We have 3 unicorns investment above $1 billion coming from Dubai. So it's a city where dreams can happen. You don't need to be a millionaire to be successful. All you need is an idea and risk-taking. So these are the different laws and regulations. I don't want to bother you. I can take question. This is the city. We're aiming at investing in prop tech, blockchain technology, and look beyond the COVID. For us, the COVID is a stage where we had to choose between panic and calm, and we've chosen to be calm. We've chosen to be different. We've chosen to have the economy up and running and continuing, controlling the health, caring about people's health, at the same time the economy to function and to be smooth. So I would like to finish with one last slide, and this is some news. Like a lot of British people are coming to buy golf areas in Dubai. Incredible Q1, 15-20% increase in transactions in Dubai. Economy and health are going. This is what I said. And the last slide. I want to finish with Dounia's boss, right? So Dounia, we be fearful when others are greedy and greedy with others.
I like that.
So I'm sorry I've taken a lot of time, but I'm willing to take question whenever the time allows. So thank you so much. I just want to have a final message. Whoever is interested to do business in Dubai, you have a great legal licensed brokers here in Dubai. Whoever wants to have an office in Dubai, I'm very happy to support you all the way. So at least come and visit us. Thank you so much. So by this, I end my presentation.
Neela, you have to unmute yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I was saying thank you very much for the presentation. It was brilliant and it offers us a very great perspective of Dubai. So now I will introduce Dounia Fadi. Ms. Fadi is the Chief Operating Officer with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Golf Properties in Dubai. She has been in real estate market for approximately 14 years plus, and throughout these years in the real estate market, she has built an extensive resource network, a full understanding of the Dubai market, offering full service residential commercial real estate practice, including buyer, tenant, and representation and property management, as well as commercial properties. I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Dounia Fadi.
Thank you, Neela. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Mahmoud, for a wonderful presentation and for the praises. Very happy to meet all of you. US is a very dear country to me. I visit regularly. I am part of the US, one of the great US brands right now. And I'm very happy citizen of choice of Dubai. As you see, I've been living here 16 years. I have 16 years real estate market experience, and I have seen this city being built in front of my eyes. And I'm very proud. I have a family, I have kids. I'm a woman who lived here and reached high in her career. So Middle East, Dubai, what a great place to be. So not to make it long, I'm gonna jump into my presentation, hoping to give you some facts and statistics and numbers to share with you what a wonderful place this is that we call Dubai, and I call it home. And I can tell you, I won't live somewhere else other than Dubai. So here we go. I'm just gonna share my screen.
Welcome to the city that connects the world, where the road to progress is paved for all. Whatever your focus, your vision, or your passion, this is the place to realize your potential. This is the place for the new ventures to become the next wave of unicorns, for the established to transform their industry, and for every one of us to widen our impact and leave a legacy. Where cutting-edge research is positively impacting our planet. Where innovation is the DNA, empowerment is the norm, dialogues are global, and horizons expand every day. And above it all, this is a place where our hearts tell us we're home. With open arms to the world, find your Dubai.
So Dubai, the number one thing why Dubai has flourished, of course, the vision of His Highness and the government has served a lot, but also the location. We are only 4 hours away from 2.5 billion people around us. And if you go further 6 hours or another 2 hours, you would reach and 8 hours, you reach more than 5 billion. So you can imagine what a great location Dubai is to reach the maximum and to diversify business when you have business or to do business. That's why we have so many headquarters here of great brands that have relocated from faraway places to be in the center of the world. As Dr. Mahmoud has highlighted, we have a population in Dubai of over, I think now we're already over 3.4. This is as of July 2019. We're a very tolerant city. As you can see, we have mosques, we have churches, we have a synagogue that is being built and it's going to be delivered soon. We have a huge population of foreigners and expat community, totaling up to 85% of the people who are living here from every background, religion, and culture. Dubai is the world business business destination. We are #1 in most competitive economy in the Arab world. We are #1 in the Arab world in terms of economic performance, and we are #1 in the Middle East and North Africa for ease of doing business, as highlighted by Dr. Mahmoud. We are #1 most cosmopolitan city, and that's all by credible sources. We have diversified sectors in the economy. We are not dependent on oil as the news have it or whatever is the norm says. We are highly diversified economy. We have transport and storage. We have wholesale, retail and trade. We have financial and insurance, manufacturing, real estate, and more is being developed now in the prop tech and the tech business. A lot of foreign capital is being coming to Dubai. We have 60% of MENA startups funding, which went to the UAE in 2019. $3.1 billion acquisition price of Dubai-based startup Careem, which was taken over by Uber. And we also have $580 million acquisition price for Souq.com by Amazon. So Dubai has become this global hub for these amazing global brands. Logistics, of course, Dubai ports and Dubai airports are the #1 highly qualified for managing the load and the international supply for logistics. So 78 maritime terminals we have, 40 in 40 countries that are managed by DP World across 6 continents. We manage 14.1 million cargo was handled by 2019, and we are the #10 largest port in the world. Of course, Dubai International Airport is one of the largest airports. Emirates Airline is one of the biggest airlines in the world. #1 busiest international airports for 6 years in a row, of course, till COVID happened. We manage up to 86.4 million passengers in a year. And there are plans to have 118 million passengers by 2023. And of course, due to COVID, we'll have to see how that spans. 240 connected destinations are accessible by Emirates Airline. Dubai is a very pro-business ecosystem, 0% corporate tax, 0% personal income. We only had a VAT, which is value added tax for 5% introduced in January 2018, but that's only and purely for not even on properties, only for commercial properties, and it does not have it's not imposed on residential properties. When you compare Dubai to the rest of even Middle East or nearby countries, you can see that we are still at 0%. We don't have any sort of tax. We have a very secure type of living here. It's a very safe city. It ranks 6th for world's best cities, 7th for globally safe and secure, and #1 in Middle East for most desirable city to live in. And I can tell you, as someone who lived here for 16 years, during this period of COVID, I feel very lucky that I'm living in this country, because I really felt that nothing went missing. We didn't have any shortage of food. We didn't have any shortage of medicines. We didn't have to worry about hospitals or bed space or anything. We were safe, and the leadership had handled both the health and the economy very well, which makes us proud to be part of this city. Geopolitically, it's the most stable city or country, UAE, within the area where we are in. As you know, it's Middle East, and there are a lot of things happening, but this is the safest and the most stable area or country, with a steady GDP growth amid regional global economic challenges. Inflation remains well under control. We have the advantage of the fact that our currency is pegged against the dollar. And that has been for many, many decades now. We have a well-diversified economy. We have more than 200 nationalities. We are committed to becoming one of the happiest cities in the world. And of course, the bilateral ties with more than 100 nations, strong diplomatic ties as well. And we are ranked #1 globally in future readiness. We are very much ready for the future and to receive the rest of the world. We have the World Center. We have hosted, in 1 year, there were 349 events hosted in that facility, 53,000 plus exhibiting companies, and 3,570,000 delegates in 2019 have visited the exhibitions. Of course, Expo 2020, it will be the first World Expo to be held in the MENA and Asia, the MEASA region. 190 plus participating nations right now are confirmed, and we are still, despite the COVID, we're still expecting 25 million visits over the 6 months period of the Expo. Dubai government initiatives. Dubai is known to have a very dynamic and very agile government, very proactive, very adaptive as well. Since the time I've been here till now, so many things have been adapted and developed and changed. And that is always in response to what's going on in Dubai and in the world. This is something, a little video I'm going to play for you, that amongst the other visas that Dubai has extended during the COVID, there was a work from home visa. And this is a little video that we have.
John, I don't know how you're doing it, but we're very delighted with your work.
Thanks, I'm just keeping my head down, working non-stop.
Are you in a restaurant?
The food delivery companies, they really go the extra mile these days.
So Dubai have extended this work from home visa for anyone who's allowed to work from home from any other country to come and be able to live in Dubai and work out of Dubai. Dubai government initiatives, there are plenty of them. We have a Dubai Future Foundation initiative to take Dubai 10 years into the future. We have the Smart Dubai, is to embrace and emerge as a world leading city. And we also have the Dubai Plan 2021. We have the Vision 2030. We have the Urban Strategy for 2040. We have the Dubai Clean Energy Strategy for 2050. And we have the National Strategy for Advanced Innovation, which Dubai is behind fully. It is the #1 destination with 200 plus nationalities living here. It is one of the happiest countries, and it has proved so during very, very tough time that the whole world is going through. It is also ranked the 6th world's best city. And that's my bit about Dubai on a presentation. Now I'm happy to take on any questions if you guys have. Thank you, Adriana. So in terms of business, I am a broker here in Dubai. So I am a registered broker and I'm also the chief operating officer, but I do transactions, and I have been selling properties and homes to a lot of families, a lot of people who've been relocating to Dubai. And I can tell you that the ease of doing a transaction here is baffling, because really you don't need a lawyer. It is not I know that in the States, different states have different law. Here it is one law in Dubai, and it's as quick. In fact, I was always thinking about how long it takes, and I used to say maybe it'll take a week, to get the money in, to sign the contract. But really, if you have the buyer and the seller in front of you, and they would like to just walk into a trustee office and do the transaction, and they have the money or the check in their hand, they literally can finish that transaction in 15 to 30 minutes and have a title deed issued in the new ownership name. But of course, there are some steps that one take. Like getting NOCs, making sure that there are no liabilities on the property before transferring the property to someone else. This is when you buy on secondary market. But when you buy from the developers, it's a much easier process. It's just a matter of sending your passport, sending the deposits, signing the reservation form. That gets followed by an SPA, which is the sales and purchase agreement. And there you have it. You've got a property in your name, then, which is while it's under construction, it gets registered in the government system and under your name, which means that the client can rest assured that anything goes wrong with the developer, the record of him owning a unit in a certain project is there. Also, no investor is allowed to send the money directly to the developer. As soon as a project is being announced, an escrow account is being set up with the Dubai Land Department, which controls basically all the funds for that particular project. So every client who would like to book needs to send the money to that particular bank account that is called an escrow account. And then the money gets released from the escrow account according to the progress of the construction. So if the DLD delegation or whoever is in charge from the project goes and monitors the progress of the project, and they have to, of course, have it in a documented manner, then and only then that the bank will release money to contractors for further marketing, for commissions, for anything. So the money of the investor is safe. If that developer, for any reason, is not able to continue the project, or they just disappear, and this rarely happens now, because this happened in 2008 because of the recession, but because of that, the law was put in place, and all of these things have been addressed. So when an investor buys, the money goes to the escrow releases the money as per the progress. And if the project is delayed, the money is not released. So this is for foreigners and for people who are here, local, who wants to buy. When it's a secondary market, of course, it's either ready or still also under construction. If it's ready, then the broker shows the property, just like you guys do in the US. He likes the property, he gives an offer gets accepted, we draft a contract, and all our contracts are templates, unified templates by the government, extended to us through a digital platform that we fill in the information of the buyer and the seller, and the property gets populated and generates your contract of sale, which gets approved by, again, both parties. And just a matter of the fact, if it is mortgage, then we have to wait for the mortgage matter to be solved, either if the buyer is getting a mortgage or if the property is mortgaged, so then it goes to the bank to clear the liability. Or if the property is being mortgaged, then it goes for valuation, and then the bank issues the final approval for the buyer to go ahead. Once that is issued, we go for NOC, which means that the developer has to provide proof or a written document that will show that this property has no liability whatsoever. Service charges have been paid, a full payment have been made, everything is done according to the SPA and whatever has been agreed. So once that is done, they would issue a non-objection letter or certificate in the name of the seller, addressed to DLD, to be able to transfer the property to the new buyer. And with that, we go to the trustee, which again, we have plenty of trustee offices around that we just walk in or take an appointment. You go with the buyer and the seller, we use manager's checks, and we do the transfer. Very easy, very simple, very straightforward. So that's the process of how you buy a property in Dubai. If you have any other questions, Sarah or Nila, I'm happy to answer that.
I do. Can you give us an idea, for example, say a 3-bedroom townhome, what would be the median price in US dollars?
Okay, so sure. So the nice thing in Dubai is you can buy a property from as little as literally $150,000 all the way to $100 million. So you have this range. And in every community, you have, of course, you have your primary communities, the prime locations, which are the downtown, the Dubai Marina, the Palm Jumeirah. And then you've got the areas that has been urbanized. And they're slightly further. But when you say slightly further from the downtown, we're not talking 45 minutes drive or an hour like we do in California. This is basically, you're talking 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minute stops. That's what you do. So to answer your question, we have 2 types of communities for 3 bedrooms townhouses. We have the one that is closer to the city, to the main road. And that would be called, we have townhouses in Springs and some in the lakes. And those would be around easily 500,000, 600,000 if you start from a 2-bed or a 3-bedroom, double story as well with nice little garden. And then if you go a little bit outside or further 25 minutes inside away from where the beach, the coastline is, then you get properties there as little as a 1.2, 1.3 million dirham, which is again another, I think, 300, 400,000 or slightly less, slightly more. Depending again if you're buying ready or buying off plan, but very, very much affordable.
Are most of the purchase transactions cash, or we're trying to determine whether the percentage is mainly cash or is it financed? Mortgage? Wow.
We have a highest percentage. Yeah, we have highest percentage of transactions that are cash. People have their savings. They manage to buy the property in cash. However, the banks are very flexible here, and they offer LTVs of up to, which is loan to value, of up to 75% for the first property on a low interest rates. And so a lot of people have started opting to buy their properties through mortgages, of course, after coming here and working for years and building their statement, because of course, to qualify for a mortgage or a high loan to value, you need to have a healthy statement or a good job where you can pay. Having said that, now even the non-residents right now, and it's been for a longer period of time, can avail a mortgage, even if they don't live in Dubai, even if they don't live in the UAE, they don't have residency, they don't have bank account here, they can avail up to 50% loan to value of the property that they wish to purchase. The only condition is that the property has to be ready, because the bank will not mortgage an off-plan property. And also the mortgage company only requires 3 months statement of your bank, from your bank, of your statement. And then they would, in 10 minutes, would tell you if you're eligible or not. And in 2 weeks, the process of your mortgage can be done.
So did we see a hand for a question?
Yes. So thank you very much. Wonderful presentation. And, so Dr. Burai and I know each other. I used to be the NAR president's liaison to the UAE. And one of the things that most impressed me about the Dubai, the real estate association there they focus on education. Not only did they, embrace the courses and certification courses we offer from NAR, but they had partnerships with other leading academic institutions from the UK, from Australia, from elsewhere. So that was, the bar is set very high, and that was very impressed. I was very impressed with that. And so just wanted to give my 2 cents about that. But I have a question. One of the problems in the US right now is there's a shortage of inventory. There are more buyers than properties in the market. What is the situation in Dubai at this time?
So in Dubai, I may say that we kind of, in a certain segment or a certain sector, we are facing that. We're facing low inventory because, as you know, COVID has changed the dynamics of how people look at the real estate. It's not anymore just a house that you come and sleep in and you just get off in the morning and get on with your day. No, it is a house where you spend most of your time. It's your entertainment place, it's your family place, it's your office, it's your gym. So we've seen a lot of people who are opting for townhouses and villas instead. And if it is an apartment, it's got to be spacious, it's got to have the best view. And as you know, we did face for some time oversupply because we were all gearing up for Expo 2020, and a lot of construction was happening. So yes, in certain, like in luxury villas right now, we have a huge shortage of inventory. In villas, we do have some shortage, but I think there has been few launches lately, which releases of new projects that are filling now that gap. But yes, we do have more people coming in, and I can tell you that either we have a shortage of inventory, or we have owners changing their mind last minute. They want a higher price because they can see that there is demand for their property. And in 7 years now, the first time in 7 years, we had a price increase in property. So COVID, as bad as it has impacted the world, it has really done something never seen before for the real estate market. And I hear from my colleagues in the US that it's the same thing over there. So yes, we do have a shortage. We do have plenty of apartments, but a lot of people want the villas and wants the villas on the beach. And that Palm Jumeirah, you see, it was the highest transacted area during COVID. Although the price there starts at minimum, you're talking $4 million, $3 million to go into townhouses and villas. And then you've got the bigger $30 million mansions and penthouses and duplexes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If anyone else has questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask them. Oh, I'm sorry. We have one on Facebook. They asked, how would your resident status affect your purchase? Will there be taxes on the USA side?
I believe so. Being a US citizen, I'm not very deeply knowledgeable about that, but I did deal with some sellers who are American, holders of American passports. And for example, when he bought the property, now when we sold it, he had to calculate his premium, whatever profit he made on it, and of course, removed all the expenses throughout the year, and he had to pay a tax on that income. But here in Dubai, you pay nothing as an American citizen or a holder of any other nationality. Back home, it's a different question.
Yeah, for a US citizen, any income that you earn outside of the US, you are taxed on it. So you are correct.
Yes.
Yes, so when you come back here, you have to file, but in Dubai, you don't pay any taxes. But what about capital gains? So the profit I make in Dubai, I don't pay anything, which is a great incentive.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, and you don't pay anything on when you sell your property. You don't pay when, of course, selling and buying. There is the 4% that Dr. Mahmoud has mentioned already, which is your, like in the UK, they call it stamp duty. I'm not sure in the US what you guys call it, but it is the fee that you pay to the government to be able to transfer the name on the ownership. But we don't involve any lawyers, nothing. That can simply be done directly with the Dubai Land Department. And then on your rental income, also there is no tax whatsoever. And there is no payment, you don't pay anything to the government, not even VAT on it. There is no VAT, even the VAT doesn't apply to residential rentals. And if it does apply to commercial, but then of course, being a company, you can offset it against what you have already paid.
No, absolutely. So yes, I just want to comment. I recognize this man here, Dr. Slavica. He is a world-renowned realtor from Serbia, and I don't know if you folks know him, but we've had a lot of interaction, and it's especially with our association here. So I just wanted to say hello to him.
So, did you have dual agents? Did you have like somebody representing the buyer, somebody representing the seller, or one agent does both sides of the transaction?
So we have both cases. We have both scenarios, and one agent is allowed to represent two parties. He can be the listing agent and he can advertise the property and get a buyer for it and represent the buyer as well. And also he can be the listing agent, and then if the other, if he gets a buyer from a colleague from outside, then that buyer can be represented by another company or another broker. So both are allowed.
Okay. And also,
is it essential?
What?
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, well, it is so hard to imagine a world without taxes. So how, I mean, this is a really, magnificent, country. So how did you guys manage? I mean, where all these infrastructures and all these things happening if we're not paying taxes? I cannot even imagine it, because we pay so much taxes here.
I know. So the government is decided to invest in their own country to attract, we have the best infrastructure, the best everything. But yes, as someone who lives in Dubai, we do not have access to public education. It's private education and we pay for it. We don't have access to public health care. We pay for it. Although during the COVID, the vaccination is free for all, whether it's resident or expat or local or citizen, it's the same. However, like I said, when you need to set up a business, you don't get a corporate tax, but you do have a fee you pay on your license setup, and that fee reoccurs annually. So you pay annually for that. But yeah, nothing is given for us for free, but we do, security is for free, of course, and the infrastructure is available to all of us. Safety is very paramount, and we enjoy that very much in this country. Tolerance, there are a lot of qualities that really goes beyond us having to pay for schools and healthcare and everything. And the schools and the healthcare is of 5-star level. So if you're paying, your money is not going to waste. You know that you're paying. So like Ahmed here, he talked about education. I have 2 kids who go to school. I can choose a British curriculum. I can choose an American curriculum. I can choose an IB curriculum, whatever curriculum I wish. Even French curriculum is available. Indian curriculum is. So every nation, everyone who moves to this country has access to their own curriculums, and they can send their kids to schools that they choose.
Yeah, so I just want to mention on that. So a very, very dear friend of ours, he was an attorney, international global attorney with a big firm, and then he moved to Dubai. Actually, I'm living in the home that belonged to him. So Hassan and Sawa were, she came from Brazil. He was here, but they were Lebanese descent. he set up an office in Dubai, very successful, and over 20 some years, his clients were all the top. The kids all went to a school there, private school, and both of his sons came to the US to go to university. One went to University of Michigan, ended up at Michigan Law School. The other one did his undergrad in Michigan, and then did this MBA and law degree at Harvard. So, you know, when you consider that the whole basic education was in Dubai, so the level of education, as you are saying, if you have the money, you're going to find the best schools you want to go to, and your kids can be educated. So they're a good indication. And then one of the cousins, he is the Middle East partner for Baker & McKenzie, and he's based in Dubai. So, you know, we have this whole connection. So I used to come visit Dubai quite a bit, and because of my PR position, but in the last 2 years now, I'm the global ambassador to South Africa, Ghana, and now yesterday we signed with Nigeria. So hopefully we'll still keep our, you know, contact going.
Okay. There's a question here that from Diana, Nila. It says, how do you declare agency? What do you mean? Can you elaborate on that if Diane is still here? Or Diane is not here.
I'm here. Thank you for being here with us. Here we actually have an agency form that we declare, like on a dual agency you were talking about, representing the buyer and the seller. So I'm just wondering, do you actually declare agency with your client in writing, or is it just understood?
No, it is declared because we have a form that we need to fill up once the deal is agreed to. So first of all, when you list a property, you have a form called Form A, which you sign between you and the seller, that states the conditions and the terms of your agreement with him. So in that, you have your name, your company details, you have your name, your broker number. We have a number, each one of us, and then our contact details. And then when you move to the process, if that property is successfully being sold, then again, in that form, we are ethically, and especially if we're charging, especially when we are charging commission from both sides, the buyer and the seller needs to be aware. So in that form, again, there will be space for me as a, let's say I'm the seller's agent, I need to put my details. And if I happen to be the buyer's agent, again, my details will be repeated in the buyer's section. If it's not me, then the other broker, even if he's from another company, his company details and his name and broker number will be mentioned in the buyer's section as buyer's agent.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I got a question, if I may. Does Dubai have like a central listing service, and is that available only to agents, or does the public have access to it as well?
Okay, so we do not have an MLS. I know what you're referring to. We don't have a multi-system listing, and we've been rooting for that because we really like what you guys are doing back in the United States. We like the transparency about that. What we have in Dubai, if any seller can choose to list his property with any broker, he can choose to list. If it's on an exclusive basis, then he can list it only with one. But if it's an open listing, then he is free to list it with as many brokers as he wishes to. And every broker, when they get the listing, just like you guys have Zillow or other portals, we have Property Finder and Bayut. These are the two main leading portals in here. So we input the property in our CRM, and it gets the feed goes to these two main portals if we use them as a company, but most of the companies use them because they're the best ones here. So then when a buyer is looking for a property, he goes to that portal and he can see that there are properties listed. So now the downside of that is that when you as a buyer goes to see the available property in a neighborhood, you really can't get an idea of how many properties are really available because it could be a duplicate listing. So I could have it, you could have it, Diane could have it, and then it will show 3 villas available in so-and-so community. However, there's only one, and it's just that the seller decided to list it with all three of us. So in this side, we don't have that clarity, but sellers are free to list with whoever they wish to, and buyers are free to deal with whoever they wish to.
Thank you. Someone on Facebook asked, are you seeing many foreigners invest in vacation rental homes, kind of like an Airbnb?
Yes, definitely. If I go back to our talk about the rental income here, yes, you don't get taxed, but our rental return on investment or rental percentage income is very high compared to the rest of the main cities, main global cities. We literally you can get as high as 8% return on your investment. So yes, people do buy property to rent, but according to the latest trend, and since the Airbnb model has emerged, people have put up a lot of their properties, put them up nicely, furnish them, and put them up on, and we do have companies that handle the short-term rental. So they have to be licensed differently. We can't do it as a broker, but we have other companies that are licensed under the Dubai Tourism Authority and are allowed to operate assets under short-term rental or holiday home, as they call it. And in that, of course, you can increase your return on investment. It can go even as high as 12%.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I think
Do you have any other questions?
Had something?
I have a question.
Someone has their hand raised.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dounia. I have a question on the financing. You mentioned that as foreigners, that it would be 50% down payment. So in order to get the financing, like say if we wanted to buy property from the United States, do we have to have a bank like HSBC do the transaction, or can we get credit in Dubai?
It can be a local bank from Dubai. Our own banks, they extend mortgage to non-residents. So it doesn't have it. I think it'll be more complicated and the process will be more long if you opt for a bank within the United States to approve a mortgage for a property in the Middle East. But the banks already are accustomed to here. So local banks here can provide a mortgage to someone who lives in the United States. The process is easy and quick, but it won't all be remotely. Unfortunately, you'll have to at least visit once to be able to open an account where, you know, the whole process will happen. So yes, UAE banks can provide mortgage to non-res anywhere else, anywhere in the world.
So going back to that, you still have, let's say if you have a $500,000 house or even a $150,000 home. If you take 50,000, you're having to wire the funds from here. Is there a waiting period? So you'd have to go establish the bank account there and then wire the funds from wherever you're from, send it over by wire.
Yes.
And then do you have to go back to Dubai to do all the the loan process? And what are the requirements to get the loan?
No, you don't have. Okay, so yes, to answer your questions, because the other 50% has to come plus the fees, because the banks, they don't finance the fees, yeah, the 4% and 2% for the broker. So you have to keep that in mind. So once prior to the person or to the client coming in here to UAE or Dubai to apply for the mortgage, you can apply remotely. You can just send a bank statement account for wherever he is for 3 months, obviously stamped or legalized by the bank, the provider. And once they get an overview of, okay, he's got regular income. He also, I think, will have to show that he's got the other 50%. And then all of that, once done, and he gets approval in 2 weeks, he needs to come, like you said, to open the account to be able to wire the money. And then once he so to open the account, he has to physically be here. They will not open an account. You cannot send a power of attorney for someone to open an account on your behalf. That's not going to happen. You have to fly in, open an account physically, and then you may fly back, till the final approval comes, you can sign that, and you may fly back. The transaction can happen while you are not here for the property, because what they will do is either you can give a power of attorney to someone, and that somebody can handle the entire process for you. The bank will have the money, they will issue all the manager's checks on the day of transfer, and somebody will sign on your behalf, and title deed will be issued in the name of the client.
So the fact that you minimize the risk by giving a down payment of 50%, that's all that requires. They don't check for credit here or anything else? Or
No.
even, okay.
It has been very easy lately. Yeah.
And is there a
Because
certain visa
they
that
hold
you
the property as a collateral. They have the property as a collateral. So the banks, they do have an asset, right? That you've paid 50% for. So the risk is very minimum here. Of course, banks, they would tell you, we're not in the real estate business. We don't want to accumulate assets. We want to be able to give a mortgage to someone who is highly qualified for it. So they have their own systems for approvals. And of course, their valuation goes on for the property prior to granting the approval, right? Final approval.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
If you allow me to greet everybody from Serbia, Europe, and thank you for organizing such a beautiful presentation. My friend Dr. Mahmoud AlBurai was amazing as always, and thanks to Dounia for Fadi to explaining to us all these beautiful things. And of course to my friend Ahmed Badat for beautiful words here. Dubai, actually Eagle Hills from Dubai is one of the biggest investors in Serbia for a wonderful project that is Belgrade waterfront, and we have this way some connections. I wanted to ask you if international realtors would like to work in Dubai and to be licensed for selling the properties in Dubai, what will be the procedure in shortest? Is it possible, as you explained, is it Dubai is open for everybody and easy to come? Is it simple for us that are international realtors, for example, if we will decide to work in Dubai where you have a lot of properties to sell? Thank you.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Steph. So yes, it is very simple. There are two options. Either you come as an entrepreneur and you want to open your own business. You can open your own office. You don't have to wait 2 years. I know in California you have to work in an agency as an agent, and then I mix between agent and broker, but I know you have to be a certain position in 2 years, and then after 2 years you can hire a team under you. In Dubai is not the case. You can come in, you can start your own company if you wish to, and start recruiting brokers. You can take the course, take the exam, become a broker, and that starts you right away. Or you could come and apply for a job with one of their real estate agencies that are already established here and become a broker. Of course, you'll have to have the training and also pass the exam. But it's very simple. It doesn't require any waiting period or anything. It's just the time you pick up and you learn about the market and you start building your network to be able to list or have properties listed with you, or get buyers through multiple channels.
Can you explain a nearby cost of this procedure and how long it will take to take?
So if you were, for which option, to start the business or to just work as a broker with the company that is already
I suppose if we would like to work for the company, we will only have to pass the license.
Yes. So if you come and apply for a job here, of course, you will have to have you come in as a visitor, or you apply for a job from where you are, and then they would send you a working visa. So you enter the country with a work visa permit, and that visa gets converted as you are here into, after you do your medical and everything gets stamped on your passport and becomes official. So if you agree with the company, you come here, you become broker, you need to have your education certificate. This is something very important, and it has been now applied. It's always been there, but now it's strictly required to have minimum education of a high school degree, or you must have a bachelor degree or a master's or whatever, but from an accredited source. It can be just any institution or any diploma that you carry with you. Before you come, you need to attest those documents in your country. So they have to be attested at the UAE embassy, and they have to be attested at whatever authority in your country as well that needs to be attested by. And then when you come here, you further attest it in the foreign ministry. So with that document, the company will apply for your visa, working visa, which is usually 2 years renewable, or you can just say, I don't want to continue. Most of the norm here is there is no salary for all brokers. All brokers work on commission basis, and the standard is 50%, depending on your experience and your track record of sales. You can ask for a little more, like 60%, but the standard is 50, so 50-50. If you close a deal, you make $100,000, 50,000 goes to you, 50,000 goes to the company. The company will do the marketing for you. They will have a support team. They'll have an office. They have to provide you with internet. They have to provide you with everything. The other money that you would need is basically for your own house, because there are no housing allowance here for brokers. So you have to come with enough savings to be able to rent a place and settle yourself. Also, you have to convert your driving license so you can be able to drive here. Get a car on rental or buy a car, depending on how you'd like to start your stay. And that's pretty much it. And then everything else is taken care of by the company. Trainings. There is an exam by RERA, which costs, I think, around 700 dirhams, which is less than $200 or $100, less than $200. You can do an exam, which you can study for through an institute if you choose to, or through if your office would provide training for that same course. So you can take the exam, and it's a multiple choice exam online right now because of COVID. Usually we used to sit in a class and take it. And that's pretty much it. That's it. If you want, the company will only offer basic health insurance. So if you want more elaborate health insurance, your visa here for a company would cost per individual around $3,000. So the company will take care of that as well and provide that to you.
Do you recognize the university diploma from Europe and United States and
Yes.
driving licenses?
Yes, yes.
It has to be
yes.
You recognize it as that?
For the universities that are accredited, yes, absolutely, and especially if they're attested back home before you come. For the driving license, each country has different law. So some get converted immediately. You don't have to take any class or anything. Some countries are not fully recognized here. So you'll have to take either practice or theory or something just to fill in the gaps that they feel that country has in their traffic system. And that's it. But for the US, definitely you convert it. The UK as well gets converted. In my case, I come from Morocco, so I had to take, I think, 2 classes extra just to convert my license.
Is there I'm so sorry. Is there a requirement for continuing education like we have to do to renew our license every 4 years?
Yes, every year you must. Yes, every year you must take an exam, and in order to renew your license.
Awesome, thank you. I have one more question on Facebook, and Mahmoud was not kidding when he said you are a wealth of information. I have someone asking,
thank you.
In Dubai, since the property is listed with multiple brokers, can the seller change his or her mind even though they may be under purchase contract with another party? Can they take another offer for a higher amount and discard the one under contract? She has seen this practice in Italy often.
Okay, no. The answer is no. In Dubai, if you sign a contract of sale, which we call it here contract F, between a buyer and the seller, there is a clause that is, if you decide to pull out of the deal, you are considered the defaulting, and you would lose. So in order to draft a contract of sale, we take a 10% deposit from the buyer, and we hold it with us as brokers in our custody, not cash it, just a personal check in the name of the seller to show interest of buying. So once that is held, the law says, okay, not the law, but the common sense is that we take another 10% from the seller. So in case one of them defaults, the other one can take the deposit. So no, if he gets a higher offer, it's too bad because he already signed and he needs to proceed with the deal. If he decides not to proceed with the deal, then he would lose the 10%. And it will go to court, and it'll be not a nice thing. It costs him a lot more than what the other offer would be.
Any other questions from anyone? Well, if not, I have one last question. It looks like your goal as the city for Dubai is to be the happiest city in the world. What is it that you guys are doing so we perhaps can learn from you guys?
Okay, so ease of business, it's very easy to do business. So when you go to get trade license or get anything, it's very simple, very straightforward. You don't get frustrated and angry, and it's very clear. It's safe for me as a mother, as a woman. I've been here 16 years. I feel very, very safe in terms of there are hardly any, of course, there are crimes everywhere you go, but nothing that I've seen in front of my eyes for the past 16 years. Very well respected environment, very tolerant. No one cares where you come from or what your religion is. I have colleagues from the US in my office, from Iran, from India, from Lithuania, from Ukraine, from Iraq, from England, from Kenya, from Philippines. So like we come from all over the world, everywhere in the world, and we're happily working together. We don't hold any grudges. It's not like my country is against your country, or we don't have that. So we are happy. Things are very easy. Our malls are beautiful. Our facilities, our infrastructure, our roads are nice. Your car doesn't get old very quickly from, the broken roads. And I mean, we really have a life of luxury here, if I may say, without, I don't want to sound like I'm over saying it, but really it is an easy way of life. Everything is available. In a mall, you have prayer room, you have a breastfeeding corner for mommies, new mommies, you have beautiful facilities in every building. You have a gym, you have a pool, you have not concierge, but you have 24-hour security. Amenities are being cleaned on daily basis. Urgent for anything for maintenance urgently at night, in the middle of the night, you have on standby electrician, plumber, whatever you need. So it's really easy here in Dubai. Of course, you have to work hard. It's becoming more stressful, more competitive, especially for any domain, especially brokerage right now and brokers. But the reward is great for that hard work.
Thank you. I guess we have another question that came in from Randy Powell. He wants to know, is English the language of business, or does one need to study a second language?
No, you don't have to study a second language. You can, I mean, my business is all in English. It is an advantage for me that I'm Arab, because the government paperwork is mostly in Arabic. However, there is always an English part to it. The judicial system is in Arabic. So you will have a lawyer who's English, but then he will have to work with the local lawyer to be able to attend the hearings and everything. But as far as the business concerned, everything is in English. News in English, business in English, schools are in English. Of course, they teach Arabic and French and other languages, but the main spoken language here is English.
That's nice to know. Well, I think it's about time for us to conclude this event. Dounia, Dr. AlBurai, thank you so much. You guys are extremely knowledgeable. We are so honored to have you both here and sharing your knowledge and expertise with us. With that said, thank you again. And I just want to say a little bit before we conclude the event that this would not have been possible if I was not able to connect myself with CIPS, some of the agents from CIPS. That's pretty much how I met Robert, who introduced me to you. And with that said, just want to let everybody know, if anybody's interested in being part of our global committee or be one of the task leaders for our future events, reach out to me, reach out to Neela or Donna or Adriana, and then we will get it working. And also want to let everybody know that we are working toward having our own CIPS course, a 5-day course toward the end of the summer. More likely it's going to be either a hybrid of online and in person at a local association. And I want to say that the fact that I got my CIPS designation opened up so many opportunities. It's a great opportunity if you're interested in building your international real estate business. You get to network with a lot of individuals with high caliber, such as Dr. AlBurai and Dounia. And with that said, we are truthfully honored to have you here today sharing your knowledge. And if we don't have any more questions, I want to thank everybody who's been in attendance today. So honored to see each and every one of you. And with that said, be on the lookout also next month for our next event, which we are going to be traveling to Latin America. So thank you all. And I guess that's it for us. And thank you so much for being here. I know it's late where you're at, so
that's all
talk
right.
to you guys
Anytime
later.
For you guys. Thank
Sarah,
you.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a wonderful event. Dounia, very, very impressed. Great presentation. So I represent the Northern Illinois Commercial Association of Realtors. I'm the chairman of the Commercial Global Business Network, and we have monthly webinars, commercially focused internationally. So there's one, it'll be posted on Realtors, Real Estate Professionals Without Borders, and the focus is on Mexico. And we're gonna have three specialists from 3 different regions of Mexico. So I will put the invitation, it's going to be there, and please invite all of you to participate. It'll be wonderful. Thank you very much.
Definitely will. Thank you for sharing it with us. So
you're welcome.
Any other announcement or anybody want to share anything?
If anyone's interested in joining the committee, talk to me and we'll get you signed up, and that way you can be a part of bringing all these wonderful people to talk and inform all of you about what's going on in the world and how you can get involved with it.
Awesome.
And if this is time for announcement, I would like to inform you about International Real Estate Conference Learn to Succeed that we organized in Belgrade, Serbia. And usually we've done that in April, but during these circumstances, we are planning it to the October this year. And you can learn about that conference on the site and see how beautiful speakers we were having in previous years. And this is learntosucceed.rs. Follow that and we'll be glad to welcome you in Serbia.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sir, what was the email for that, or the website?
Learn to succeed.
.rs.
Learn to succeed.rs.
That's it. RS.
Cool. Barbara, do you have any announcement for us? Go ahead.
Yes, Sarah, thank you. I'd like to invite everyone to our Take the Money and Run. We're going to have an investor panel, and this is offered through Women's Council Inland Valley. Nila Esposito is our current president, and together we would like to invite you to this event. Jenna Walkley and Sylvia Lopez are our project team leaders, and we're going to have an investor panel. So we're going to be talking about, where's everyone going, and, the right timing, and how to, just plan your day. So you're all invited. I hope you'll join us on Council in the Valley on the Facebook page to get more information. We'll have the link up soon. I don't have the link up yet, but I'll have it up soon.
Hi.
On our Facebook page. Thank you, Sarah.
Right.
Thank you, Barbara.
so much. I think that will conclude our event, and I hope to see many of you next month as we travel to Latin America. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for an outstanding presentation. Great work, Sarah, Nila, and
Yes,
everybody that
wonderful
was
job,
involved.
Sarah.
You guys did an amazing job, so thank you.
I think we should all take a trip
Joint
over
effort.
there together. Sally?
Yes.
Oh, I would go. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm in love with that city. I didn't, oh my God, I was fascinated
we should
with that
see if we
video.
can- It's
Where
a
was that?
beautiful place. Maybe we can work something out. We all travel there one day.
And in.
It could be a training trip.
Bye, guys. We gotta get back to work now.
Yes,
Bye.
let's go to work. Thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.